Hello, and welcome to another transmission from the Velvet Revolution. We are on episode 61 today, and you join us in a hot and sun-filled UK. Are you sun-filled down there?
No, and we're not hot either.
Oh, it's just me then. So it's not filled at all. It's partly filled. But yeah, welcome as ever to our transmission, wherever you are, whoever you are, and whatever you are. My name is Ben Rice, and my co-pilot is Dave Noble. How are you doing, sir?
I'm okay, yeah. I'm not hot and I'm not basking in sunshine.
Sorry, I didn't mean to speak for you there.
Well, I was yesterday, but
Yeah.
it's a little bit overcast today. Yeah, it's variable, I think would be the right term.
Okay.
Is that the right term?
Yeah.
Changeable.
Changeable.
Did you used to watch morning TV shows like when you was younger or growing up as a teen in puberty?
Ye-
A pubescent, is that right? Pubescent teen. Did you used
Yeah.
to watch Weather Girls is basically what I'm asking.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask about Saturday morning TV. Did I
They,
used to watch Weather Girls?
they didn't provide the goods, mate.
No.
That sounds like I'm objectifying Weather Girls, doesn't it? That sounds
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Are you talking
But
about Wincy Willis?
who?
Wincy Willis. She was a weather girl, wasn't she?
That sounds like mate of Russell Art or
I
something.
think she was. She was that
Oh,
era. Yeah.
really? She
Yeah.
sounds like a more like a Mystic Meg kind of character than a
Uh,
Weather Girl. What's Wincy Willis?
yeah, I'm sure it was Wincy Willis.
What did she do? Weather. She's a Weather Girl.
She was just,
Really?
yeah.
I need
Well, that
images.
name's come into my head. So unless I've just completely imagined it and made it up.
Nah, I'm thinking of there was a batch that were more post the golden glory years of teen years. I'm just talking subjectively
Okay.
to my own objectively, is that the right term? Yeah,
Yeah.
to my own experience.
Right. Okay.
Of course, there was the obvious Eureka Johnson. Who else was there?
I can't really think of
Mm.
any. As I said,
Anyway, sorry, go on.
well, as I said, Wincy Willis is the only name that's come into my head.
I know who that is.
Mm.
British. They British
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
like the 90s.
I think it was the more 80s. I think it was. It might have been
She have
like
a like permacomb.
I can't
Permacomb?
remember.
Permacomb? Perm.
So obviously, Weather Girls have not made a huge impact on my life.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, and then I remember the best one for me. I used to watch it religiously. Was it The Big Breakfast? Was it the one with when Johnny Vaughan was in his glory years and Denise Van Outen?
On Channel 4, yeah, the Big Breakfast.
Big Breakfast used to be brilliant, really good.
Yeah,
Did you not no, not into that?
I sort of watched it a bit. I can't. Yeah, I remember it. Yeah,
Mm,
wasn't
okay.
my wasn't my go-to. I don't think.
Okay. Anyway,
I went to school, mate. I don't think you went to school. I think you stayed at home and watched Big Breakfast, didn't
there's a lot of things I watched at school, like Neighbours. What else?
you?
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of nostalgia to that.
Mm,
Yeah, that's why I'm latching onto it. But yes, and I think the sun will break through. It usually does here where I am. We're in our little microclimate on the end of the world, end of the land here
hmm
on the peninsula. But it's been lovely. Whilst everyone else has been baking, turning into crispy bacon, it's been pretty nice down here, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I did my bike test in the day after the hottest recorded day in June,
hmm
but I don't feel like it was like that down here.
Okay.
It was still searingly hot, but it wasn't as hot as you lot.
Right. Okay.
I did my bike test in it,
Did you
and it
pass your bike test?
yes, of course, yeah. I shouldn't have said of course. That's a bit cocky, isn't it? But I was
Had
confident.
Can you fail your bike test? I mean,
Yeah, I think
okay.
the young dude, there was me and a 16-year-old lad whose birthday it was on the day of the test. So I got there, and he was just turning up, and he was with his dad, and his dad dropped him off, and it was his 16th birthday, and
Right.
we sort of took him under our wing. It was like me, two Ian guys who were the instructors, and they were wicked, and they were like sort of my age. One was a bit older, and one was just probably a tad younger. So
Hmm.
it was like, we had a little Three Musketeer vibe going on. I felt
Hmm.
quite happy about that,
Hmm.
like one of the lads, and then there's the 16-year-old Gromit that turned up, and we took him under our wing,
Hmm.
because I work with a lot of young dudes, young mavericks, and he was a little bit of a young maverick actually. So, and the other instructors were really naturally very good at, just it was really perfect for me. I thought perfect. This is going to be a good day. I felt really happy about, you know, the dynamic. Um, and as the day went on, it was evident that it's interesting because he just was so in his head, like a lot of 16-year-olds, he was really in his head with
Hmm.
what he already predetermined he needed to get out of the test. All he was asking was, I was asking questions like, um, well, just practical questions I might want to ask, like, can I have a drink of water? Can I have a piss? Sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Can I just have a glug of water? I'm really dehydrated. Whatever. He would be asking questions like, so how many mates can I get on the back of my moped when I pass? Sort of thing, you know what I mean? Um, it was those sort of questions, and it was quite obvious that he was just wanting to get his test. He was so desperate to get it. And at the end of the day, they presented me with my certificate, handshakes. They said, right, Dave, now go out, ride, 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 enjoy, be safe. I was like, thanks, dudes. See you later. And they kind of wanted to usher me out because the kid was next.
Right.
And they were sort of, seemed like they were sitting down, getting ready to say, look, mate, you know, we can't give you the pass. And they actually asked his parents to come in. So I think that was, yeah, the breaker was getting his parents in. I just don't think it, and I think they did the right thing. I'm not, I don't know for sure that they didn't give him the pass, but I got a vibe that they weren't going to do it,
Okay.
which is the right thing to do. There's enough little grommets tearing around, isn't there, causing
Okay.
chaos on the streets. Without another one. So yeah, shame really, but
Yeah, I was really rooting for him now. I was hoping you were going to say he was going to pass.
he might have done. They might have just needed to sit him down and have a real stern talk with him. Say, look, mate, this is you gotta pay attention because one of the things they kept saying, keep put your phone away, turn it
Oh,
off.
okay.
Yeah, when we was doing like the morning session, which is to sit in and go through all the theory and all
Hmm.
that, it's like being in a classroom a little bit, and I love that. It's like I'm soaking it all up like a sponge. Now, 16-year-olds used to have the ability to soak it up like a sponge, but these days they've got a filter and a block in their brain that can't sponge shit up. Well, they can, but it's all been sponged off the internet.
Mm.
So they haven't got
Yeah.
any extra capacity or resources to intake information in the old school way, which is one person giving it to one person, relaying it in person. They
Mm.
can only they can only receive it through a fucking through tech.
Yeah.
Do you not think?
I do think we've got to a point where young people really do struggle to digest anything that's longer than 30 seconds.
Exactly. Now we've got a whole morning session and it's serious shit. You go out on the road, you've got to pay attention. You got to pay attention. If you don't pay attention on a motorbike, you've had it.
Yeah.
You've not got a load of metal wrapped around you. So
Mm.
I'm really confident, not overly confident, but I'm really confident that I'm paying attention. I have to be on high alert, paying attention.
So have you been out on your bike lots since you passed your
Yeah,
test?
loads. My
Yeah.
car failed its MOT, which is quite nice. So that's now being serviced. Mm. It's my main mode of transport, so I'm just out every day on it. I love it, and I'm getting
Nice.
a lot of miles in and experience, and it's all good. Yeah, loving it. I love
Good.
it. Everyone I know that's got one say it. Every morning I wake up and go, I can ride. I'm going to ride my bike today. It's a really exciting thing to feel.
Okay.
That's what we want, right? We want to wake up and go, I'm going to do this thing today.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone at home, have you got that? What is it? What's that thing that you're going to do today that you're so excited and you have it every morning? Can we really answer that and say honestly, yeah, I've got that.
Mm.
Hmm.
Mm.
Anyway, so that's me. I'm busy with work. Got lots and lots of cases on at the moment. I think I might have to go overseas shortly, which I haven't done for a little while. Um, sort of dust the travel cobwebs off and possibly board a plane. Now I've got my two wheels on concrete. I'm like, I don't really want to get up in the air. Can I not ride to the Mediterranean on my bike?
that'd be
Yeah,
cool though, wouldn't it? To ride down there.
I will. I will do that. Yeah, at some
Yeah.
point once I'm off my L plates.
Okay. How
Um,
long do you have to stay on the L plates?
uh, you've got 2 years on it on that license that I've got, and then you either have to take it again to extend. That's what a lot of pizza delivery people do. If you look at all of their bikes, that's what they do. It's how they
Mm.
avoid. It's the cheap way to get people on the road and do their deliveries. Or, or what the alternative is, which is what I'm going to do, which is in 6 months, I'm going to go back to the two Ians and do join their next graduation course, which is riding on a slightly more powerful bike. Nothing too mad, just the one up,
Hmm.
just to get my L plates off, pass that test. It's more like you do a bike theory. It's just extra, you're just learning more. It's good. You learn more
Do you do
skills.
tricks? Do you do jumps at that point?
Probably wheelies, evil
Yeah.
Knievel stuff. Yeah,
Any
maybe that.
ramps? Do you get to jump over buses or anything?
Maybe jump over a Fiat Punto. And then you work your way up to Volkswagen Beetle,
Nice.
and then you end up with a camper van.
Yeah.
And if you're lucky, if you're daring, you do a Luton van.
Okay.
You would build it up, yeah. I think the initiation is you got to jump over your instructor. If you land on him, he beats you up.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's exciting, yeah. And what I'm going to probably do is just pass that one so I can get off my L plates, and then that's it. I'm fully qualified to ride bikes up to that power of bike. But I'm probably just going to hang back and stick with my one, just cruise around because I love it. I love just floating around, nice and easy. Doesn't feel dangerous. Feels safe because I haven't got a rocket between my legs.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So it's nice, just like cruising around. Love it, absolutely love it. I feel really in control of it because it's a light bike. So yeah. Anyway, I'm really good in all elements of my life. There's a lot of tick, tick, tick. I watched a documentary on blue zones.
Blue zones.
Yeah, do you know what blue zones are?
I've got no idea what you're talking about.
There are places in the world where people have the most centurions.
Centurions, are they Romans?
Centurions.
Centurions.
What do they call them? I forgot. I'm watching a documentary. I can't remember how you pronounce it.
Oh, people that have got to 100.
Yes, those.
Okay.
Yeah. My nan nearly did it.
Did she?
Bless her. Yeah, she nearly did it. She passed away. I'm pretty sure that she wanted to do it, I think, if I'm right in saying so. I don't know. Anyway, um, yeah, I mean, it's not like getting to 100 and being like absolute, like, can you imagine being 100 and just being immobile,
Mm.
mental, you know, dribbling, having to be spoon fed, soiling yourself, walking around in nappies. I don't want to be one of those.
No,
Does anyone want to be one of those?
I don't think it's anyone's aspiration. No.
No, no, it's not my life goal. So what it is about reaching longevity in life. So you think of where we're at in our age, like you're just creeping up to your bullseye, right?
Yeah.
I turned it last year,
Mm-hmm.
that mid-age, if they want to call it mid-age. Is it mid-age? Is it middle-age 50 or is it 40 middle-age? I don't know. But when you get to that mark, you can't help but reflect and go, fuck, I'm getting a little bit, shit, I'm getting on a bit. But if you think about it, I've done 50. I've still got 50 in the bank if I want it. Hopefully, fingers crossed, if I do the right things. So the blue zones um, just highlight um, what these people are doing and why is it that there's certain places concentrated in the world, blue zones, that have a high percentage, high ratio of these people that reach 100, and what are they doing? So it shows Ben Rice has now left the podcast, everyone. Now he's back.
Was that
This is
me?
a, this is a first time. This is a first from you now. Now you've actually left the podcast whilst I'm talking and rejoined.
That from my end, that just looked like you'd stopped.
No,
It
no,
was
no,
my
no.
fault.
I'm not. It's no one's fault.
Yeah, I feel like it is
It,
my fault.
it's Mercury retrograde at the moment, so there's a lot. There's a
That'll be
lot.
it'll be Mercury's fault.
There's a lot of apparently when there's a Mercury retrograde or whatever they call it, it messes with a lot of tech shit. It kind of does appear to be evident.
Mm,
Anyway, I was just going on, Ben, about what is it that people do in blue zones? So Sardinia is a blue zone,
okay.
right? Japan, there's some islands set off of the south coast of Japan. Oh God, I can't remember what it's called. Ikiwawa, Ikiwawa. No, that's is, isn't that a song?
It sounds like one.
Ikawawa. I can't remember what it's called, but there's some islands cluster of there's an island off of Japan. That's a blue zone. Weirdly, there's a place in California that's a blue zone
Okay.
in the mountains. Where else? Where else? There's blue zones. Oh man, I've not watched all the documentary. It's like 4 episodes. Anyway, there's blue zones, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the commonalities are people are active. They're
Okay.
active. They don't
Yeah.
sit on their asses on a chair or sofas just watching box sets for half their life.
Mm-hmm.
They're not on computers. They're not really on their phones. They're in person with each other, being social, laughing a lot, so
Mm-hmm.
being social, being of service to their community and each other. There's connectivity. There's obviously all the good stuff that comes out of that, like a sense of belonging, contentment, love, a sense of joy. Um, and they cook together a lot. They social, it's all food, a lot of it's, you think Sardinia, anywhere in the Med. I think there's one of the Greek islands is one as well. Also how they eat, what they eat.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they never really retire. They don't see that what's retirement all about, They manage stress well.
Okay.
Now their stress related skills are based on not life stuff, not the stupid stuff that we attach to and get distracted by and get caught up in and seek out because we do seek it out. We do seek out our own bullshit
Mm.
because we can't be content in living in the way that these blue zones live. Very simply, there's a simplicity to it. And their stress is like, one of my sheep's gone missing and I need to find it.
Okay.
That's it. I'm being legit with that. A lot of them are like shepherds. The men are normally shepherds, look after livestock. and they just enjoy their jobs and they have naps
Mm,
and it's chill.
I love
And
a good nap.
so I was looking at these blue zone sort of cultures and their lifestyles. I was doing a lot of like tick, tick. You know, honestly, I
You
think
bought some livestock.
I think I'm living in my own little blue zone.
Okay. Does
There's a lot of
Rupert count
similarities.
as livestock?
Yes. I get stressed when he doesn't come home one night.
You're a shepherd of a cat.
Yeah, yeah. I've got shepherd. Look, hang on, just quickly.
What are you? Have you got a crook?
I don't know if you can see this. Can you see
You have
this?
got a crook.
Yeah, this is my shepherd staff.
Oh,
That's for when I'm starting to come into this age now where I'm going to start walking around with that.
yeah.
And it's good for like beating off little pesky little shitheads who fucking want to give it all the lip. Because
It looks vicious.
that could probably penetrate skin.
Yeah.
Let me put it down there. Anyway, Blue Zones, check it out, people. Something in it. And that's why I feel content because there's a lot of similarities to what I see to what I've intuitively gravitated towards.
Mm.
So check it out, man. Check it out. Anyway, that's me. How are you, Mr. Rice?
Yeah, yeah. I am getting towards the end of term, which is always it's always a weird one because it feels like a quite a big thing to have reached the end of another year. It's the weird thing about teaching and working in schools is you have these other sort of, you know, I think most people work around New Year as the one sort of seismic event every year, and we kind of have a beginning and a start either side of the summer as well. So yeah, it definitely feels like an ending as it always does, and it feels like we can go again in September and we can start again, and yeah, there's just a lot going on. It feels very, very busy and hectic at the moment, considering everyone is winding down. We have 2 weeks left. The sun's been out a lot. It's been hot. And we've been doing some kind of different things with the kids. We had a World Cup day during this week where they all got to pick a football team, a country, and then they had to do some artwork and some food around that country, and then they got to play a bit of football.
Right, so I'm gonna just own it because I'm just gonna bring forth.
Yeah.
Um, I'm just gonna make a statement. I have no clue to what is going on with football in the World Cup. I've not watched one single thing. I rode past the promenade the other
Hmm.
day, and there was a lot of people outside a pub with a big screen, and I could see that I saw the score, and England were losing, and
Yeah.
I, I kind of just internally chuckled to myself. Um, that's where I'm at with football. Sorry, people.
No, I must admit I have not really connected with this World Cup at all. I'm finding it very distant. So I'm yeah, it's not like following the Arsenal. So
I'm just not into it. I'm sorry.
uh,
Keep going. Sorry.
so yeah, so we've been doing things like that. So it's a mixture of the kids really enjoying that and then getting really dysregulated because it's not normal routine for them. Staff are just getting to that point where they're ready for their holiday, and
Mm.
it's just trying to balance all of that, plus getting ready for September, trying to do all the work so that you are ready when you come back in September to start again. So
So you've not even finished term to get break up for semester or summer, depending
yeah,
on where you live in. And you're already starting to have to think about what you've got to do on your return next term in September.
yeah, yeah, very much so. Yeah,
Oh
because
man.
yeah, we got to work out what's gone well this year, what we need to change, what we need to adapt, what we need to improve on. It's all of that. There's this constant this constant sort of trying to not reinvent the wheel, but there's constant pressure to like, how good is this? Could you make it better? It's a very scrutinized profession. It's very like
Because keep going, sorry.
yeah. It's just the trust has gone in teaching. It's become very data driven, and well, I think life has got very data driven. It's all about numbers, isn't it? And are you meeting this quota?
Yeah,
And
silly.
we've kind of lost the human element of it. Of
Mm,
like, are we actually turning out decent human beings?
mm,
Even I was looking at it the other day actually. And it's even because like the school I work in isn't really judged on its exam results because our kids aren't going to get eights and nines in their GCSEs. They're gonna, if they get a four, then we've absolutely smashed it. So yeah, the equivalent of a C grade for those people are like, what is he talking about? Um,
mm.
and yeah, so we're not really judged on results. So you're then judged on how you've sort of, I don't know, worked with young people to turn them into better young people, I guess. And
S-
and and how you datarize that. That's not a word, is it? How you turn that into numbers and
How
and
capture the data.
yeah, and show, right, how is this human being improved as a human being? It's all of that, and that's what people are obsessed by now, is like, oh, have you got this, this better version of the person than you when they originally came in.
Are you governed by, well, it's all money. They just want to,
Hmm.
they've got to show someone that it's worth
Yeah.
the money that they're spending on it.
Hmm.
So are you governed by Ofcom?
Off Ofsted.
Ofsted, sorry, Ofcom. Ofsted.
Yeah. Yes, of course we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was going to be very, very, yeah, I won't go there, but yeah, I've got my opinions on that outfit, that syndicate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just teaching is. I don't know any. Like,
They're a bunch of numpties, basically.
yeah. I mean, it's a profession that is so scrutinized, and I get it because we're dealing with the future, but
Yeah.
it's the level of scrutiny is to the detriment of
Mm.
what schools could be.
They've got to get with the program, not Ofsted, because they'll never get with the program, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, but it's just what I see. I've worked a lot in schools and I've seen all the bureaucracy and politics and all the bullshit. But God, we're not in Victorian times. How many times have you heard someone talk about this? We are not in the Victorian times anymore. Stop fucking sort your shit out. We need to recalibrate, reframe the 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 container, the containment, which is what it is for young people to explore the path of growing up in their school years at that time in their lives. We need to reframe it, remodel it, reinvent it, and be inspired by that and motivated to make it fucking cool and better because it's shit. It's bland, it's boring, it's not working. But then you go to the other end of the spectrum where you get these new age schools, and I've had to deal with a lot of those fucking
Yeah.
alumni.
Yeah. There's
I've had to deal with a lot of them alumni. So what does that tell you?
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's getting it is a fine line between Victorian outdated model and the other end of the spectrum where it's like, no, 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 that's neither of those work. It's finding somewhere in the middle that works.
Yeah. I went on some training last week for the first time in a while, which was good, really good, because it kind of I've not lost my way, but I've kind of been accepting of the status quo, if you like. It gets to a point where you're like,
What,
how
three chord songs?
three chord songs, yeah, and a lot of denim. Yeah, I just get to a point where it's like I
And a
got,
lot of cocaine, apparently.
yeah, yeah, um,
And maybe darts. Game of darts, a pint and some peanuts
yeah, it's
before the
quite
cocaine.
it's quite a combination that. Um,
Status
I
quo. Status quo and weather girls fits
yeah,
quite nicely, doesn't it?
we've
80s.
gone we've gone 80s this episode.
Yeah. Sorry, keep going.
So I get to a point where it's like, how much can you fight the system? Because the system's not going to break or it's not going to give. And I get to a point where it's just like, right. for my own well-being, I've got to stop. I've got to stop getting so worked up about things and so like, oh, this is so wrong, and there's
Injustice.
injustice, and it just builds like a level of anxiety and just resentment. So yeah, there's times I just want to step back, and it's just like, right, actually, I'm going to concentrate on myself for a period of time, because no one's gonna no one's gonna suddenly do what I want them to do. Um, but yeah, but saying that, last week went to some training, saw this guy talk. His name was Luke Mitchell, and he runs a company called Positive Regard. So any teachers out there, he is incredible, really incredible speaker, and really just a very good guy who gets young people,
Has positive
especially,
regard for people. Yeah.
yeah, especially the ones that are struggling. And he used this. I can't remember the name of it, but he had a square, and it had four. It was cut into four, and the bottom left of it was neglect, where you basically just don't care. The top right box was about that sort of that old school draconian, right? Someone does something wrong, that's it. I'm going to sanction you. I'm going to shout at you. And
Getting a
then
cane. Getting a cane.
yeah, and then the other sort of opposite corner to that was the, oh, don't be so silly, the permissive sort of behavior of just, how teachers are just like, oh yeah, you're my mate, yeah, don't, yes,
Yeah.
oh, don't be so stupid. And then the sweet spot is the top right box, which is actually,
Top
it's
left. Top left.
top right.
Top right was
Yeah.
the.
Anyway, but it's the sweet spot is having that control, having those boundaries, which everybody needs, with the level of connection. So
Hmm.
it's connection and challenge. So it's not just letting, you know. So what he was doing, he was getting somebody in the audience to swear at him, and then he was showing the different kind of responses. But if someone swears at you, you've got a choice. You either go, oh, oh, don't do that, Johnny. That's oh, don't be
Yeah.
so silly, or that's it, get out of my classroom. And what he was saying was, okay, you're telling me to f off, I can hear you, probably means you want me to go away, so I'm going to go over here, but I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about this in a minute. So you're
Yeah.
setting a very clear boundary. You're not saying they've got away with it, but you're saying, I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about this when you're in the right frame of mind.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. You don't let them feel like they got away with it, man.
Yeah. And it's just,
Yeah.
it was just a really, he talks a lot of common sense, and when you put it like that, you just think, that's really straightforward. Why can't just everyone do that? It's just,
Because because it's so simple, we miss it.
yeah,
The school system misses it. Ofsted, okay, I can't even can't remember their name. That's because they're so irrelevant. They don't get it.
yeah,
It's so simple. It's such a simple premise, but they don't get it. They don't
yeah.
see it.
So yeah, it was just a really inspiring talk, and he was a really lovely guy. I think he grew up in Leeds, and he
Is
still
he?
lives on the estate he grew up on. That's what he started his talk. His first
Love
part of
it.
his talk was brilliant.
He should
He
be
had,
prime minister.
yeah, he's just talking
A
common
real
sense.
person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he just had this picture of the estate, and it just looked like something from Shameless. It had the kid on the bike with the hoodie and the balaclava on. And he was like, people often ask me, and he said, like, I've got a job now and a career. And he said, and people ask me why I still live on this estate. And he said, the first thing was community.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He said, and I know everybody on this estate, and it's great. And
Blue
then he
zone.
said, the second thing is, I can buy a 3-bedroom house for £80,000.
Very true. The only thing that won't give it a blue zone accreditation is probably
the
their diet,
the chip shop.
the nutrition, like all the paths, all of
Yeah.
that stuff.
But yeah,
Um,
really, really good guy. So yeah, thank you, Luke, for being inspiring. And it's always lovely when you go and see people talk, and you're just like, yeah,
yeah,
I can do
real
that.
real people who get
Real
it, man.
people.
Not these numpties in suits and ties who are just fucking doing lip service, saying they know and they understand. Fuck you, you don't. Fuck off, you bloody stiff. But so I was gonna say, if all else fails, find Chuck D Flavor Flav. I think isn't he a pasty, not a pasty, a pastor, a pastor? Is am I thinking of Run DMC?
I don't know. I
Isn't
don't.
one?
What has he become a? Has he become a member? A
I don't know.
religious leader now?
I don't know. I may be wrong with that, but I was just thinking of fight the power.
Yeah, yeah,
Just get Chuck D in, man. Start
yeah.
spitting some bars at all these stiffs in suits and that. Just get them to fuck them up. Get Flavor to go and smash them up with his gold chains.
And
That's where
I
my
think
head goes with it.
the other motto I've got this week is that what I'm holding on to is I'm I'm definitely winning the war. I'm losing little battles. It's one step forward, two steps back. I'm losing little battles, but I'm gonna win the war. And it's keep fighting, keep doing what you believe in, because yeah, there's times when you need to recharge and find
Yeah.
some energy, some find yourself again. But definitely feel like like I'm the fire's lit again. So
Mm.
it's been a good week, a good couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, look, just you don't need to be reminded of this, or maybe so, I don't know. But for anyone at home, the greatest battle you'll ever win is with yourself.
Mm,
So there's a lot that comes up when we're in a battle with others, but we need to sometimes put the focus on, okay, well, what's coming up for me, and address that. Because if you are solid within yourself, you can win. If you can overcome that, that's the greatest battle you'll have is your one with yourself, and then you can go on to be quite triumphant in other areas, in my opinion.
mm, thanks. Okay.
Anyway, should we get into it?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Right. Okay. So, is it your turn to choose? We've had a little break in recording, haven't we? We've had some time out.
Yeah.
Coming back to it feels like yeah, I feel a bit distant from remembering. I think if I remember rightly, though, I'm just trying to think. I did pick last time.
You picked an H. I know that. It was episode 60 and you picked an H, and we're now on 61, and then we're on the letter I.
I for ignition, and I will be igniting my little two-wheeled beauty after this.
Right. So, in the I section of our encyclopedia, we have intrigue,
Oh,
irrational,
hmm.
irritable, insatiable, inspire, insecure, insincere, impatient, isolate, irresponsible, inconsiderate, which we've already done. Check it out. Ill tempered, impulsive, indecisive, indifferent, inflexible, intolerant, and intuition, which we've already done. Hmm. I'm going to go with inspire
Okay, okay, good. Why?
because I've just talked about being inspired, and it's the
Makes
first word that
sense.
spoke to me.
Makes sense. Okay, okay. So you feel inspired to. Okay, so let's land on this. So what? Where do you place when you say you felt inspired, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a feeling.
Yeah,
Is it a feeling?
I think it is.
Where does it sit in your being?
Where does it sit? I. It's almost like the ready break glow. It's like I feel alive again. When I feel inspired, when I feel like I have this like energy again, and it's
Hmm.
like I want to do so many things uh because it's suddenly everything's firing in my head again. So I guess it's a I don't feel tired and lethargic. It's like this opposite sort of energy starts to like I there was a point, and I probably shouldn't admit this, but there's points where I have got so tired and so sort of just bogged down in all the uh, mess that sits in being in a job that you just it's just like, oh, all I'm thinking about is like, right, I just want to get home, just want to put the TV on, I just want to fall asleep. And it's the opposite of that. It's the, oh, I could just do this bit of work, I can do this now, and if I try this, what's going to happen next?
Mm.
It's possibility, I think,
Yep.
as well. um it's like everything's back on the table, everything is up for grabs again.
Hmm.
And you know it it also makes me feel a lot more, it makes me feel stronger. It makes me feel like, even when things start to maybe go backwards, you're like, no, I can see what's happening here. I can deal with it. It makes me feel more resilient.
Okay. All right. Okay. I relate to that. Um, so what you're saying, it's kind of like I get like this when I'm about to, I might be sitting in a restaurant and I'm like, oh yes, they've got this food I love.
Okay.
And I order it and then
Yeah.
suddenly my feet start tapping and I end up doing the food dance.
As we have ascertained over the past few episodes, you are definitely led by your stomach.
And that's what I got from your share just now. Is like
Yeah.
that's what I how I interpreted your what you just took us through was, yeah, I get that. I do the
Yeah.
food dance and I come alive. That's just one example. No, I relate. I relate. I get it. So do you feel that inspiration is only accessible? Do you think it's conditional?
In what sense?
That we get granted opportunities to experience inspiration, or do we have to seek it?
Um,
Like we make it happen, or we make it so, or is it? Do you think it's is it organic? Does it just happen by its very nature? Do you know what I mean?
yeah, I think we can seek it. I think you can go and try and find inspiration in the world. You can go and find your own inspiration. Um, I guess the situation I was talking about was being inspired by someone else. Quite
Hmm.
often it comes from connection for me. It comes from having conversations where it's like, it's it's suddenly seeing that have through those connections, it's like the neurons start firing again, and it's like, oh, I could do this and I could do this, and there's suddenly all this opportunity that's presented because your brain starts to go, yeah, okay, I can work with this, I can work with this, I can do all these different things that 5 minutes ago where I was just sort of a bit stuck and a bit uninspired. Now it's like, oh, okay, I I I, I feel all these different possibilities suddenly energizing me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's and it yeah, for me, the past, yeah, it's been for me, the past week has been about connection because of meeting another human being that I found very inspiring.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
quite often I find this, sometimes when I'm stuck a little bit, it's if I read a book about someone else's journey, and it's
Mhm.
specifically for me around, I remember reading this book about, it was a long distance, like an ultra marathon runner, and he was talking about this run he was doing and how he just sort of ran, I don't know, 100 miles, 150 miles, and he was running by the coast at 3 in the morning, and he ordered pizza, and the delivery guy actually had to drive up next to him as he was running along and give him this pizza, and but it's we all take inspiration from different things. I guess we're all looking for different things to start
Did it,
with.
did he? I just want to land on that. Did he? So he was. he's on a run and he can't
Mhm.
stop. He's running. He's
Yeah.
doing how long? Where's he running from and to?
I can't even remember. I just remember that bit of the story is that he was literally starting to feel like he was going to crash. So he
What?
just needed
What?
energy.
I just want to break this down a minute. I just want to get my head around it. So he's running from point A to point B
Yeah.
for how long?
I don't know.
Or is this
Must have been at
out?
least 24 hours.
So what? So he's gone. He's out running for 24 hours, and he suddenly decided he wants to have a munch and he wants a pizza.
Yep.
So he calls a pizza guy,
Mm-hmm.
pizza place, says, "Yo, can I put an order in for pizza?" And they're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah, what do you want?" And he's like, "You got any gluten-free bases?" Yeah, okay. Um, Meat feast? Yeah, we've got Hawaiian. Oh, yeah, Hawaiian. I have a Hawaiian. Right, so he puts that in.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe someone who's an athlete wouldn't have a Hawaiian. Maybe they would.
Maybe the pineapple is like, yeah.
But he's running along, puts it in, and then they say, what's your postcode?" And he's like, I'm not sure at the minute. Hang on, let me have a think about this. I'm on the A39, running on the coastal road,
Mm-hmm.
between X and Y.
Yep.
Right, okay. Oh, I'm running. Right, okay, you're running. Yeah. He's had to have this conversation,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, right? Then they've agreed to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So then, mate, he hops on his little moped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 16-year-old freaking Danny boy jumps
Mm-hmm.
on, cruises down along the coastal road, locates him.
Yep.
Right. He's running probably in a high vis jacket. He's got to
Mm-hmm.
be. And then I'm just imagining this taking place.
Mm.
But then, you know, exchange of money, how's he paying for it? Over the phone? Or is he giving him cash? And then,
Where is
uh,
he keeping the cash?
yeah, and then he passes him the box.
Mm.
How's he fucking running and eating? I don't buy this. Where did you get this from?
I'm gonna have to find the book now, aren't I? It's Dean somebody. Dean.
Dean's blagging it. I think
Nah.
it just makes a good story.
Maybe maybe he has like a crew behind him in a car that are following him.
And 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 if you're running for 24 hours, you don't need to eat pizza as part of that trip. It's 24 hours. They can run for 24 hours without eating. Surely. Energy bars.
I feel like I'm selling Dean's story short because at the time it
It's,
was very inspiring.
I think it's bullshit.
Okay, well I'm gonna find the book. I'm gonna bring it down for you.
I'm gonna go out and recreate this and see if it's possible. I'm gonna go through the whole scenario and I'll
Of you
report back.
running along the coastal road. When was the last
Yeah,
time you went for a run?
I don't run because my knees don't like and my back don't like running. It's either
Okay,
skating or walking, and
right.
even skating's getting a bit tiresome for me these days. But I like to be active. I walk. I like walking, and I walk fast.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got two modes. I either just chill and mooch around, shuffle around, or I stomp.
With your fisher's stick.
Yeah, um, yeah, and I dive and swim and all of that stuff. So, but hiking, I mean, I'm always up and down rocks and stuff because
Okay.
the terrain around here.
So say
But
you were up a rock, you've been like out walking for 8 hours, and you suddenly, you feel like your energy's about to crash. You
yeah,
call up Papa John's or Domino's or
I wouldn't do it
and you're like,
because I go
I need
prepared.
a Hawaiian now.
No, I'm prepared. I've got my snacks, got my nuts, got my apple.
Okay.
I don't need to call in a pizza. I don't buy it. I think it's bullshit.
Well, it's not, and there's more to the story, and I'm going to find it
All
for
right,
you.
carry on, keep going.
So yeah, I have taken inspiration from other. That's definitely something where if I read someone else's story and I'm like, yeah, that's really inspiring. I want to do that. It's how long that sustains it for, though.
I've been inspired by lots of stories. Storytelling is great.
Yeah.
Storytelling is great. So don't let the truth get in the way of a good story, as most politicians will tell you.
So, who was the last person that inspired you?
Um, uh, God, let me think about this. I'm trying to think. I get inspired a lot a lot by the Young Mavericks.
Okay.
Yeah, the Young Mavericks. Constantly, always inspired. On my groups, especially. Not just on my groups I take, because they're really in the solution, most of them, and um, they're working their way through they're navigating their way through the journey of life with skills that they've found for change. Maybe some of them I've passed on to them, some of them they've got from other areas of um, and it's all inspired based. We very rarely make change unless we're inspired to do so or motivated to do so. So I think
Hmm.
inspiration creates an opportunity to be motivated,
Yep.
and we need motivation to activate the 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 energy of inspiration into action. Action only happens from inspiration if there's um it's like inspiration is the seed,
Hmm.
the catalyst, the juice, and then you have to the juice. It's like an engine. It's like and then it's the fuel.
Okay.
And inspiration maybe is the fuel, and then there's like as the fuel enters the engine, there's other parts that need to happen and other mechanics that need to happen for us to actually move in motion with that and activate it. Because I don't think inspiration goes anywhere if there's blocks and the fuel can't go anywhere. That's why people have writer's block. I know people that go and do writing sessions a lot and they sit in writing sessions all day long every day and they're trying to write the next number one and yet they're not writing the next number one. Why is that?
When you started writing your book, would you have just started writing it? And if
I was inspired.
okay, I guess that's where I was going. Was it what gave you the motivation to write the book? Was it your own personal inspiration, or were you guided by an external force, or
I sat in a library in I sat in a library before I had my own home device. I used to go to the library. I used to love that. Go to the public library, sit on a computer, book the computer for an hour, sit there,
right?
and I had a USB stick. Back then, I always had a USB stick, and I put things on it. Yeah,
Hmm.
along the way. And I was dabbling a little bit in music production, a little bit, tiny little bit with Tony, the DJ, who's a big inspiration to my own change in my life.
Tony Records.
Yeah. And we were dabbling in doing mixes and just playing around with music and doing like bootlegs and demos and stuff.
Hmm.
So I had a bunch of music files on this USB stick. And I was in the library, in public library, and I started to write a piece. I just started writing. I created a folder and I started writing. I called it Lone Wolf, you know. Ooh. And it was the story. I've shared this before. It's the story of the punk guy that I saw when I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So and I called it Lone Wolf, and that was the seed. There was a seed there, and it was just I wrote I don't know, however many words. It was maybe 2 pages of just me writing. And it remained on my memory stick for quite a while. And then I was in a relationship with a best-selling author, and she was the one when we were getting to know each other over phone calls. She was in Barcelona, and I was very much in the UK, and we kind of did a lot of the preliminary dating, getting to know each other via phone.
okay.
And it was on that phone call, on the phone calls, and there was a lot of them because they were in Barcelona for quite a length of time, out there writing a book, another book, and it was through those long conversations on the phone that they were like, "Have you ever thought about writing a book?" Because I was always good at telling stories and
Mm.
being a bit of a raconteur. And I was very much doing that in the school system.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it was just joining the dots. And I was like, yeah, I mean, funny you should say that. I've kind of, I don't know why, but I did write a piece. It's been, I've written and played around with a couple of other bits since. And I was like, and they just put it to me. They were like, look, write 10,000 words. Why don't you submit 10,000 words to me? Just write some stuff, submit it to me, and I'll tell you if you can write. If you Because they were saying they were a writer, they've been a writer all their lives, doing columns and all sorts and blogs and obviously books. And they were like, it's one thing to be able to say stuff, but to be able to actually
Hmm.
write it and capture your voice when you're writing it is it's a skill.
Yeah, yeah.
Not everyone can do it. You've either got it or you ain't. And I obviously had it, apparently, according to them. And they, I took their word as good value because of their own skill and ability to write. So that was it. So that was the process of inspiration for me. Is it? I had a lot of inspiration in my life anyway at that time. I was writing a lot of music.
Hmm.
So I knew I could write. If you can write music, you can write books. If you can write books, you can write music. You can. You can. You don't believe me anymore. If anyone's like right at home and they've thought about writing, write and see if you can do it. We've all got a story in us. We've all got a great story to be told. We just need to find our voice and tell it. And for some of
And
us, we need to do it vocally, sonically, visually,
yeah,
or through our living experience. We live our story. That's how we tell our story. You know, um, yeah, that's what I think.
yeah. It's it's fascinating to think if someone hadn't had that belief in you, would you have still done it? And I do, and I do think this is goes back to that idea of teaching. I think if you think about teachers that got you at school and believed in you
Mhm.
and saw something in a talent, uh, or it doesn't even have to be teachers at school. I think I'm talking about another person, and they can be any walk of life, but they are teachers because what they do is
Yeah,
they give you that self belief.
yeah,
Oh yeah, maybe I could do that.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
it takes a little bit of positivity. It's like, oh, have you thought about doing this? You're quite good at that.
yeah.
And
Encouragement.
yeah, I like, my creativity has always been drawing. And I know as a kid that's what people told me I was good at.
Mm.
And I thought I was dreadful at writing because I had this horrendous English teacher. I think he's passed away. Well, I know he's passed away, but he was a bully, and he was one of those old school teachers. The story I heard was that he was desperate to be a screenwriter. He wanted to be a writer himself, and he hadn't got there, and he'd now become an English teacher in a standard secondary comprehensive school. And he was just bitter and he was
Mm.
mean. And I remember one lesson where he actually spent the whole lesson having a go at me because I hadn't done this homework properly. And it was
Wow.
just, just sort of, I'm just going to humiliate this child in front of every other kid for over half an hour because I'm the big I am. And I mean, my dream when I was a teenager was to work as a journalist. I was desperate. I was
Really?
obsessed by music, and I really, really wanted to write for the NME or the Medley Maker. That was my dream.
I could see you doing that.
That was my dream as a kid. And thanks to this English teacher, I had absolutely no belief in myself in terms of actually being able to put a written word on a page and find any sort of voice. And it wasn't until I started, I think, probably in my degree, where I sort of worked out. I don't need to write like they were sort of telling me to in school. I
Yeah.
can just write, and I can write what's in my head, and I can put it on a page, and it can make sense.
Mm,
And I still, you give me a blank page now, and putting words on it is like I freak out. You know,
mm.
I can have all these thoughts and words in my head. The moment you put me in front of a white page, it's just like no, can't do it.
Scary. It's
Yeah,
scary doing that because you've got to, yeah, it's there's. I think this is the most common thing for people, and it doesn't have to be a creative endeavor. It could be just anything in life. Is when there is a blank canvas, using that as a metaphor. When there's like a void, when there's like a nothingness, a sense of I need to give the goods, I need to deliver the goods. Yeah,
yeah,
whatever that may be. It doesn't have to be like a creative, artistic thing. It's like, a project at work. I've got the task to do this thing and I've got to deliver it by Monday or,
mm.
by end of month or end of quarter or something. Deadlines, it's like whether that's an album, a free book deal, a 5 album deal or just I've got to sell X amount of product or real estate or property or finance or whatever it is. you know I've got to do that. There's pressure to perform. And how do we maintain our level of motivation, inspiration, etc., to perform, to deliver the goods? Now, I believe that when you are connecting to a true sense of purpose, when you find your niche in life, and I've heard it said before, the hack to life is as early as possible in your life. Now, for some people, that might be when they're still at school. For some people, it might be, in the teens, early 20s. Some people, it might not be till their 30s, 40s, 50s. It might be even later on in life in their 70s. Who knows? But as early as possible, find the thing that you feel is your purpose, and then
Mm.
just do it to the best of your ability. And I feel like that was a big part of my struggle, my bewilderment, my confusion, my frustration, my hopelessness, my sense of hopelessness that I held and carried through my life was doing things just quickly. I'll just go through it. It's like I'm at school. And I didn't feel like I was good at sports, good at skateboarding. I knew I was good at like I enjoyed music. I enjoyed hearing it. I enjoyed sort of dabbling with it.
Mm.
The concept of sound and what it is, and arts. I'm very talented in all things creative. Really, I'm just a very creative person. I can create something out of anything, really. And I liked working with wood, and I used to build ramps for my skateboards and all of that kind of stuff. But then I started to, like you, had some teachers that have the ability to make or break you at any juncture in your life. They've got the ability to make or break you.
Yeah,
And the only teachers that really supported me that I needed, I had one basketball coach called Mr. Birch, Roy Birch, I think his name was. And I think he was American. I'm pretty sure of that, or Canadian. And he was
I'm
involved.
imagining this 7'6" guy in an Adidas tracksuit.
He was a silver fox, I think,
Yeah,
and from what I remember, he was a really kind of like just a really like soft character, nice guy. I really liked him.
yeah.
And I don't remember him being at school forever, but he was around. I remember him vaguely. I remember him being part of the basketball scene at school. And I really enjoyed it. And he took me to one side once and he says, David, like I really think you've got some skill here.
Mm.
Like, and I want you to play like outside of school.
Mm-hmm.
and I just didn't take him up on it.
Okay.
I could have Noble number 909 on my back.
You could be like a multi-millionaire
I could
playing in
be,
the NFL.
I could have,
NFL?
there could be no,
NBA.
there might not be Air Jordans, man. They might be Air Nobles, man.
And nobles.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I, anyway, it wasn't to be. And,
I
but I
don't think
was,
you're quite tall enough.
uh, but skating was my all, and art, music, art, and skating, right? But I started to lean towards because even when teachers had the ability to make you, if I'm not inside, if there's something in me that doesn't believe it, it's not going to happen.
Mm.
No matter how much encouragement you have, I know that from helping. Now I'm the teacher helping the Mavericks. I can give them all the encouragement, but they've got to walk it. And if they haven't got the belief that they can walk the path, it ain't going to happen.
But you,
So,
but you can provide the inspiration to them.
oh, well,
You
which I do,
you can
yeah.
yeah, you can say to them just literally by your own story,
Mm.
and you can be very open and honest about your story, which I think is one of your great skills is is that provides inspiration to them and to other people. And you're right though, it can provide inspiration, but then they've got to walk it. They've got to choose that path, haven't they?
They've got to activate it.
Yeah,
They've got to, if they've not got motivation, if it's just like, oh, it ain't gonna
yeah.
go nowhere. And you can't like literally you can't just frog march them to the pearly gates of glory. You can't. So, um, it ain't, well, you could, but it ain't gonna be it's not gonna be sustainable and it's not gonna be authentic. It's got to come from them. It's got to come from me. Now, at school, just before I was about to leave and I was in the final year and I'm sitting on my exams, I was so stoned out of my mind, sitting at home eating a cheese sandwich, watching Neighbours,
Cheese and ham. Is it cheese and ham sandwich?
cheese and ham, with pickle, yum. That I didn't turn up. I didn't turn up. I didn't turn up for myself. I didn't turn up. Now they became irrelevant to me. And I always thought academically, why am I doing this? I want to
Yeah.
be creative. So I turned up for art, graphics, woodwork, CDT, craft work, whatever. And I was good at that stuff. And I made the grades, right? And I was so troubled at that time. I had a fight. I headbutted someone in my freaking GCSE art exam, which is just not. It's out of character. I'm not a fighter. I'm not. I'm the opposite. And I headbutted someone. What the fuck?
what did
And
what did they
my,
do to make you headbutt them, Dave?
me and this other guy, who was kind of like a bad egg, and he was throughout. He was a character
Right.
that was carried on after school, and I still have weird dreams about him. He's someone that's just not been the best role model for me in my life. And he was sort of someone that would sort of encourage me to try and egg me on to antagonize certain people in our class.
Right.
And I now know that he was like a bully, and he was bullying me to bully other people. It was so out
Right.
of
Okay.
character for me, but I was trying to fit in.
Yeah.
It's been a little dick. I didn't stand up to him. I should have
Hmm.
done. But like this all says a lot. It says that I don't have the confidence in myself to be my own person. I don't know
Yeah.
who I am at this point in my life. Does anyone know who they are at 16, 15, 16? This is why I'm good at what I do, because I understand when I'm working with these young mavericks where they're at with that. Because that's where I was at with it.
Mm.
I was struggling. So anyway, I'm good at art and I got an A. Now it wasn't if it wasn't for my art teacher that had the ability to make or break me, she could have broke me and I could have flunked my art exams. But she knew what was going on for me. She knew what that I was struggling out of school, not just in school, and I made the grade.
Mm.
I got the pass, regardless of what happened in that exam. So and that. that catapulted me onto art college because I had a good enough portfolio to get in. But from that point, that sets the scene. From that point, right through to when I started to really connect to my truth and my authenticity of my purpose, what I'm meant to be doing in my life, which was in my early 30s, I went through a trajectory of exploration to try and figure out the thing that I'm meant to be doing. And I had moments of inspiration. And I'd have little jolts of motivation to do some things, but there was no longevity in any of it. It wasn't sustainable.
Yeah, yeah,
There
yeah,
was there was something in me that I would be doing something, and I'd always think, this isn't what I'm meant to be doing. There's something else. There's more. And then I'd lose inspiration for the thing I'm doing, and then I'd go and find something else to do. And then there's like this pattern that I created of that. It was cyclical. It was a perpetuating cycle of me trying to feed something that I could never. It was like that unquenchable thirst of like it's never enough. It's never enough. It's never enough.
yeah.
And I didn't just do that in trying to figure out what career path I'm meant to be doing or what my life path is. I was doing that with a lot of things, people, places and things, as they say. I was exploring, uh, you know, oh, this person's gonna fix me. Oh no, it won't.
Mm.
This thing's going to fix me. Oh, no, it won't. Oh, if I just move here and do this, if I just go over here and do this thing, this will fix me. Oh, no, it won't. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and that's been my life. That was my formative years. That was Act One.
yeah.
That was Act One of my life.
I I would I would go further in terms of my own journey in saying that it was always I'm not good enough.
Yeah,
And it
yeah, yeah.
was it was like I could prove that to myself. I was very good at proving to myself I wasn't good enough.
Mm.
Like, oh yeah, yeah, I'm never going to get there because I'm not going to be able to do this, and I'm not good enough to do that. And
Mm.
it's that lack of belief and conviction in your own skills and talent that that definitely limited me. And it was much easier in my life to go, yeah, I might as well give up because I'm not good enough. So it's much easier to prove that right and
Yeah.
get success in not being good enough than it is to go, actually, this is really hard, but I'm going to stick at it and I'm going to push
Mm.
through and I'm going to see if I can get to the point I want to get to.
And imposter syndrome
Mm,
is a big thing as well,
yeah, yeah, I know.
like
Yeah, I've had that. Yeah, constantly.
yeah, like, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy,
Mm,
I'm a fraud. If anyone really fucking found out what I'm all about, then I'm gonna be rumbled, it's one of them. Um, but look, it's not all bad. I look back at my Act One and then formative years of trying to figure shit out, and what a beautiful process. I mean, it's just I used to be in it and be so hopeless and frustrated and anxious and depressed. I felt really, I was the guy that was one of the best in my year at art. Like people recognized that I was the artist in school. There was about three or four of us in my year, but I was fucking one of the best, like you. And I went to college, and again, I felt like an imposter. I didn't belong. Like I blagged it somehow, and if that I wasn't worthy, I felt ill-equipped in every way, emotionally, mentally, just in every way. I felt ill-equipped to be in life. I was like, oh God, it feels like I'm getting into a new part in my life now. Going to college, I'm out of school, and I'm like, I've got freedom. And in one way, that terrified me, but in the other way, it was like fucking brilliant. All right, bring it on. What can I do? There's no boundaries,
mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna freaking push them.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And it opens up a whole new world of possibilities. And believe you me, as well, I fucking explored. And So I look back at that time and it was like, wow, what the hell? I've been through all this mad stuff, and people at home listening, right? You've got your own version of this, man. We've all got our own version of this. And what I've learned, this was Act Two, is to know it, to understand it, to accept that I am not the story of my past. Like, I am not just the embodiment of the story of my past. I'm a lot more than that because I'm living in the present and I've got all this great stuff in the future that I'm now creating. So the regrets, the remorse, the sadness, the sorrow, the guilt, the shame, all of the stuff that I cannot change that happened in the past, let it go, man. It's like, I'm not the story of my past. I'm not. However, if it wasn't for that stuff, I wouldn't be positioned right here, right now in my life today, doing the great stuff that I'm doing. So it all served a purpose. So Act Two for me, when I got to a point where I was so depressed and caught up in, I don't need to get into it, of course, because anyone that's been listening all the way will probably have heard a lot anyway. But for anyone that's just joined us, just in short, I was in a bit of a pickle
Full
in
cheese and ham.
in every way, and I got to a point where my mental health was was completely shot to pieces, and I needed to change that. And I made the decision to change it and take accountability for that. And what that meant was, there was some work to do. I needed to work on myself. I needed to improve and change a lot about the way I was living, in order to go in a different direction. And that was where inspiration, I needed a lot of inspiration to motivate me to change to do that, man.
And was that another human being
Yes,
that inspired you to stop
yes, yeah.
and change paths?
The inspiration came in it was twofold, I think, like in part. Maybe it was more, but there's some elements, there's some factors. So the first one is my desperation
Hmm.
was part inspiration. All right, so people listening, yeah, check this out, right? Desperation can serve as inspiration to make change, great change. So I recognized I used to have desperation and it was at my detriment, and it was like the thorn in my side, it was like the poison, it was like the dagger in my heart was my desperation. I carried desperation around me for a long time. Hopelessness, desperation, deep sadness, anger, fear, all of that stuff was like the dagger in my heart, right? Kept me kept me stuck, right? Frozen or running, right?
Let it go.
And I converted it, that very same sense of desperation, when it got so like inconceivably like bad. I managed to convert it into inspiration to make change. Now something happened. What happened? What happened? And what it took was the second bit came in, which was Tony, who was. They do say, man, when the student is ready, the teacher appears, and
Mm.
he appeared, and I was ready.
Yeah, I think that's like you were saying with the young Mavericks earlier, that you were ready for the lesson. You
I
had all
don't
your
know.
books.
I'd had enough, man.
Yeah,
I'd had enough.
you had your new pencil case. You were on time to lesson. You were ready to go,
Yeah.
and I just think, yeah, that's the difference in terms of that. Inspiration has to hit you at the right time as well.
There's some elements that need to line up. there's
Yeah,
the way I see it is my life. I had moments where I had teachers come in, and every one of them led me to the this beautiful change in the scene from Act One to Act Two. So it's all relevant.
but
There's
but
a
there's some,
segue, the segue,
but maybe the teachers sort of push you up to a certain point,
to
and then
get
you
you
fall
to
back down,
yeah, yeah,
and then
S-
it's that final push to actually get you up and tip you
yeah.
over to the other side.
Exactly, and it needs to line up. So I believe, or I know from looking at my own story, having spoken about it so much and written it, and all of it, I know it so well. And this is the beautiful thing, people are listening. We need to, you know, some people say, "Oh, I don't want to," we don't need to look back at the past, just live in the future, live in the present, and look towards the future. But I'm telling you, for me, for me knowing my journey and looking at it and writing it and saying it and processing it and understanding it, not to indulge in it and to wallow in it and to remain stuck in it and be identified as I am the story of my past. I'm not that. But to understand it and to know it provides great wisdom, insight, knowing you get to know yourself, you get to know your story, you get to know the why, the what, the how, and it can be painful. It can be, which is why most people don't want to do it. But it was part of the process, my act two, my process, my recovery to recover the person I was always meant to be, so that I could be in a position to then do a true exploration of who am I and find my authentic self, my true purpose. To be able to do that, I needed to understand where I'd come from, to let it go, and to have acceptance, make peace with it so I could let it go, right? And move on. And now I can use them parts of that story of Act One to help other people. What a beautiful gift. What an amazing thing. It wasn't in vain. I didn't live all of that. It wasn't a waste of time. It's but I know there's moments I look back at that journey. There's moments, there's windows, there's doorways that open up, and you can walk through it and change your life at any given point if you're ready. But I wasn't ready, and these moments, and we can all say this. Pretty sure people at home. If you look back at your life, you've had opportunities to change your life, but you just haven't chosen to walk through the door. But they're there. They're always there, right? And we've got to see these synchronicities. And I think what it is it's consciousness versus unconsciousness. I was very unconscious, and my journey, all it did is it slowly, all the events that happened, everything that happened, slowly started to make me become more conscious as I walked the path of my life of Act
Do
One. So
you
that,
remember that toy with the penguins? There was like a toy that with the penguins that used to go up like that,
yeah, I think,
and then they
yeah,
get to the top and they slide round and come back round and then they stop.
that's a
That's
good metaphor
that's
for,
what that reminded me of as you were doing it. You were
yeah.
like just jumping up slowly the steps.
Yeah, that's a good metaphor for because it's like snakes and ladders. Snakes and
Yeah,
ladders is a good analogy where, you think you're making progress in life. This is for everyone. This is my life. This is the story of my life is snakes and ladders. It's an illusion. It's a game. It's
yeah,
no
yeah,
different. It's a board game. We're playing a fucking game. Life is a game. Our fucking consciousness, our living consciousness or unconsciousness is a game. You watch all the films, it's all there. Truman Show, Matrix, it's all there, man. So like snakes and ladders, we think we're making progress in our lives, and then we fucking, so we climb the ladder of our careers financially. We get the house portfolios and the money and the cars and all this stuff. We're climbing the ladder, getting the promotion, got the kids, got the dog, we're climbing a ladder. We think we're getting what we need, and then fucking snake down the bottom again. And we're like, oh fuck! I thought if I do all that, I'm gonna I'm gonna
I'm
be
gonna stay there.
I've got the
Mm,
code, the source code. But then we find ourselves at the bottom of the run of the ladder again,
mm.
feeling depleted and like shortchanged. It's like, oh, I thought if I do all that, I've made it. So consciousness, consciousness. I need to be present. I need to pay attention to be able to see the opportunities. And maybe those opportunities are the inspirational moments where I need to seize the moments. And if I don't have the belief or the presence of mind to be able to see it and act on it, because it's all about action, all about action, you know, then it ain't gonna work. You're just gonna stay stuck in the same perpetuating cycle of like the penguins or the snakes and ladders. So this is why the middle way is always a really great, the flat euphoria. I love that flat euphoria thing that we came up with.
Mm.
I don't think anyone's come up with that before, so it's ours. Flat euphoria, the middle way is what
Mm.
the Buddhists call it the middle way, right? So
Yeah.
it's not having these peaks of like freaking peaks of like ecstasy and the lows of hopelessness, and sadness and sorrow. It's just being happy with that middle wave, being very present on that middle path, the flat euphoria of just being content, knowing what your purpose is, to know what inspiration is, to know what it is to take action on that inspiration, to be motivated, to maintain all the good things that you've got in your life that people seem to have in blue zones.
you, I I was talking about this with my PT, my personal trainer the other day.
Is he still rattling around?
Yeah, yeah. Still trying to sort this shoulder out. And he was talking about the difference between motivation and discipline because it gets to a point
Yeah.
where, so at the moment in my life, I am getting up, I'm waking up really early. I'm waking up about 4:30,
Wow.
and I've got into this routine of waking up at 4:30, and I tend to go for a walk most mornings. I tend to go out for about an hour, and that's like my movement, if you like, for the day.
You can do that in the winter, is it a summer thing?
I don't know. I was wondering whether it's seasonal.
I'm not sure you're going to do it in the winter.
No.
Not trying to put you down, but I'm just saying, not sure. Report
Yeah.
back.
And then in the evenings, like after school, my intention is always, and I take my kit to school with the intention of changing into my gym gear and going to the gym after school and then going home. But what happens is I get to after school, I'm like, I'm knackered, I'm done. I just want to go home and I want to collapse. And he was, and I was trying to explain this to him because I guess I was looking for motivation. I wanted him to go, yeah, you should do this. You should, this is really going to fire you up. And he was talking about, he really likes this boxer. I can't remember who he is now, but this,
Chris Eubank?
it's not Chris Eubank. And you're now going to name boxers, aren't you? And I can't.
Frank Bruno?
It's a modern day boxer, and he's
Um,
Eastern. He's got an
Muhammad
Eastern
Ali.
European
Muhammad
sounding name.
Ali.
Just
No?
stop. Just stop. You're not going to find it.
Okay.
Um, and that's all three boxers, isn't it?
I've got a professional boxer story.
Okay.
I'm not going to
But yeah,
share it.
he's saying
Maybe one day.
this boxer was talking about the idea that he really is very rarely motivated to go and do the training, but
Okay.
it's just about discipline. It's just about going and doing it every day and getting in the gym and whatever. And I guess that's of part of some. I guess that's what I struggle with is that discipline to go, yeah, I'm just going to do it. I don't feel like doing it, but I'm just going to go and do it anyway. And any improvement in life comes from some sort of consistent practice.
Mm.
Yeah. If I'm going to be successful at something, I'm going to do it fairly regularly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not, I'm going to do it for a week really intensely, and then I'm not going to do it at all for another
Snakes and ladders.
snakes and
Yeah.
ladders. I'm just going to do it. And if I do slip, if I do have a day off or a week where I'm just like, I'm not really feeling it this week, that's fine.
Mm.
But how quickly do you get back on?
Mm.
And how quickly do you do it again?
Yeah.
And we live in a world, I definitely feel like this, where everything is optimized. Everything is like you've got to do this every day, and you've got to take these supplements here, and you've got to do this amount of yoga, and you've got to do this amount of journaling, and you've got to do this amount of exercise, and everything is about having this perfect life, and that doesn't really exist. That exists in Instagram. It exists in people's you know stories about how great their life is eating pizza, running along the Atlantic Ocean or wherever it was.
That's bullshit.
I've frozen again.
Okay,
And
keep talking.
okay. And
Mercury retrograde.
Mercury retrograde.
That's what we're putting down.
and and the reality is it's okay to have days where you're not feeling it. But
Mm,
then
it
how
is.
many days does it take before you go, okay, I'll go and do it again now? And and do I
Mm,
keep doing it? And do I keep trying? And do I have the discipline to
mm,
keep coming back to something even though I'm not getting immediate success?
yeah. So the blue zone thing, this is why I was like tick, tick, tick in my own life relatively, was that what was evident and on show, what they were showing is that they don't, it's simple.
Mm,
Keep it simple. We overcomplicate everything because we've got people telling us we need to do all this stuff. Everyone, the man, I know so many people that are doing this course, that course, I've got to do this, I'm doing this thing, and then I'm doing this thing, and I've got to do this thing. It's like subscriptions.
yeah,
We're in a
yeah.
world of subscribed mentality where everyone's subscribed to so much stuff. Get rid of it all. You don't need it all. Keep it simple. It's really simple. The code, to crack the code, it's simple. It's simplicity. You know, just keep it simple. Recognize the things that does it bring you joy? Yes, right, do it. Otherwise, don't bother. Because joy is the elixir. That's something that's gonna keep the doctor away.
Yeah.
Is the thing. Right, does it bring you joy? Yes. Right, then do that. That's it. Like I would say to anyone at home, sit, write a little inventory, right? Just write a list of things that bring you joy in your life that you've got, right? Underline them, put them in a list, and then don't worry about anything else. Just highlight the things that bring you joy,
What happens
right? And
if
then
the thing that brings you joy is peanut M&Ms?
consult a nutritionist.
Okay.
But like, but even then, it's like if you like peanut M&Ms, yes, they bring me joy. Okay, how much do you like them?
Quite a lot.
I mean, if you're consuming them all day, every day, then alarm bells. But if it's like, I'll just do it, it's a weekend thing, I treat myself, don't worry about it. If it brings you joy, it's going to generate the joy that you're going to feel from something is going to, be substantial. It's going to help you in your life. It's a sense of well-being. That's good for your body, for your spiritual well-being, for your mental and emotional well-being. He's being discerning and not being silly about it. I love vodka. Brings me a lot of joy. Okay, crack on. But like, although, oh, I like a vodka and orange juice, and I have one at the weekend because and it's social and I enjoy it. Well, great. If it brings you joy and it's social, crack on. Excuse me. But like, and then think of the things that you would like to do that you know would bring you joy. Think of the things you're not doing that you know would bring you joy. And start doing them. Why aren't you doing them? It's that. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think there's also things that you know are good for you that sometimes don't bring you joy, but you know you've got to do them. Like there is
Like
that's
what?
I
But like what?
like cleaning your house.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, it's not like life and death, is it? I
Well,
mean,
no, but if you just didn't clean your house ever, there would, you might get ill because there's loads of germs around,
that's what
like
spring clean's
dirt.
for.
That's what.
Spring clean, just do it in April.
Okay.
No,
What about?
I do mine every. I know when I need to do it, and I just go around. I do
Yeah,
what I do. It's self-discipline. You mentioned discipline, and I need to feel inspired to do it. And for me, normally it's like it gets to a point where I'm fed up of picking up fluff off my floor,
yeah.
and I'm like, I've got to do it. So the first stage is pull the Hoover out so that it's in the hall. So that I keep seeing it. That's my first. That's my strategy.
Okay.
But no one's going to do it for me unless I pay someone. But I can do it myself. It keeps me active. You know, this is blue zone shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Is cleaning your house. This is blue zone stuff. This is what they do. This is why they live to a long age because they're active. They will clean, 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 clean. Not OC, not obsessively like OCD vibes, but they'll do it. They'll do these tasks.
Okay.
And yeah, you're right. It doesn't bring you joy when you're doing it, but it does it. Because for me, I feel really good when I'm cleaning.
I feel really good once it's done, and I
Yeah,
can look at my flat and go, "Oh my god, it's spotless."
it's
And then I
lovely, isn't
get
it?
obsessive about like, "Oh, there's this little bit of dirt." Over the next couple of days, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I've got to pick this up and I've got to do that," and
That's
and
all
then
right.
it, and then it'll go again.
Yeah, but I do that as well. You know, it's just when you've just cleaned your house and you see a bit of this and a bit of that everywhere, you're like, you want to, you know, well, you know, but like, I think it is met. Some of the things that seem like a chore and like, oh, they are usually met with a sense of pride, a sense of achievement, surely. And if you don't have that, then why not? Because, you know, when you have to do things that maybe you don't want to do, they are usually met. They are for me anyway. There's a lot of things I don't really want to do, and when I do them, I feel like accomplishment and proud to have done it. And that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's an interesting one because I think if you, like I said, if you go down the joy route, then I would just be eating peanut M&Ms secretly on my
Well, look,
sofa all the time. And the bottom line is, I know that actually I need to not eat peanut M&Ms. I do need to go for a walk. I do need to do some exercise. And but like, I mean, I'm not saying I don't. I love walking. That does bring me joy. Um, but yeah, it's finding the discipline to and inspiration at times to do the things that are a little bit painful, but ultimately will give you satisfaction at the end of them and give you the outcome you want.
and that's life. And
And that is
this
life.
is what I had to learn as my act two was learning that
Yeah.
because act one was a refusal to do it, to participate in it. I was like, fuck that horse shit. I'm not doing that shit. Not prepared. It's about being it's about having self-respect, man, and you know, in my opinion, for me anyway, you know, it's like having a bit of self-respect and growing up, being an
Yeah.
adult about shit.
Yeah.
Not being like a petulant little shit about it, going, I ain't fucking doing that.
That's going back to the guy that
I don't want to do that. I'm
the
fucking doing it, all right? I'm fucking doing that shit.
the guy that I went to see that started the idea of inspiration, but the last person before him that I saw talk at a conference that really inspired me. He actually that's what he started with. He asked all the people in the room what made them an adult, and
Ooh, interesting.
it was simple things like personal hygiene. Like people because we'd all it was a beginning of a conference, and so I think, or it might have been the second morning, so everyone had been out the night before,
Yeah.
And it was like, right, so what's made you an adult this morning? What's made you, the fact that you're sitting here at this table now listening to me, what's got you here? And and people were going through the fact, they got up, they brushed their teeth, they'd had a shower, they got dressed. And he was trying to ask us, what is being an adult, and what are we trying to, from an educational perspective, because that obviously it was a
Yeah.
education conference, but like, what are we trying to get young people to be and grow into, especially when you're dealing with kids that are really dysregulated and come from households where maybe the adults haven't really become adults yet. And
Yeah.
so, where their inspiration or their role models that they're looking at are still battling their own demons and battling, like, where their sense of self. And when do they get to the point where it's actually, oh yeah, I'm going to be an adult, I'm going to
Yeah.
put down the peanut M&Ms, I'm going to put down the vodka and orange, I am going to go for a walk, I am going to get off my phone, I'm going to have a conversation and connect with somebody, I'm going to
Yeah.
do,
Be present,
yeah,
basically.
going to do the things that I know are going to make, turn me into an adult, and give me a sense
Yeah.
of a decent sense of self, rather than constantly beating myself up.
There we go. You just encapsulated everything in one swift statement. There you go. Um, it is. It's just turning up for yourself.
Yeah.
I didn't turn up for myself till I didn't meet myself properly until I was 30, 34. I finally turned up for myself. Mad, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And but I got there in the end. And some people don't ever get there. It's not their journey. They're just too afraid to meet themselves,
Mm.
you know? So yeah, it's there's some accountability to growing up. There's some accountability to facing life on life's terms and and taking it on, taking on the challenge of this path, this life, this journey. Um, It's scary. And if you're not equipped in early life to deal with shit, then is it any surprise that some of us might go a little bit off piste?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So inspiration is it's a beautiful thing, man. It really is. It's there for everyone. It really is. And how are we getting it? How are we getting our inspiration? Are we cultivating it? Are we just not using it in a wise way? Um, you know, this is why storytelling and there's some great pieces of art and stuff culturally out there that we can access that can really inspire us to make great change, you know.
Yeah. Can I read a quote?
Yeah, just quickly, I was looking up inspiration in the book, in the
Yeah.
big book of words. I read it and I thought, don't need to read it.
Okay. So
It's too obvious.
I found this quote this week, and apparently it was Harry Styles had it up as
I like Harry Styles. I don't
uh,
know him, but I kind
no,
of like him.
yeah, and I like him even more knowing that he put this as a slide. It was on the screen on the backdrop when he was playing
Oh.
it the other day.
He's
So
done well. He's done well, isn't he? He's like
yeah,
that's why I like him. He's just done well.
yeah, and he's quite clearly a clever young
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
He's smart. So the quote is, "What an artist is trying to do for people is bring them closer to something, because of course art is about sharing. You wouldn't be an artist unless you wanted to share an experience or a thought." And that is by David Hockney.
Oh, so it's not Harry Styles that actually came up with that.
No,
I was
but
about
obviously
to.
David Hockney passed away in the past couple of weeks, and yeah, he put that quote from him up on the backdrop of his, which just shows he's, yeah, well, for me,
Can you just read it again? I need to hear that twice. Go on, say it
yeah.
again.
What an artist is trying to do for people is bring them closer to something, because of course art is about sharing. You wouldn't be an artist unless you wanted to share an experience or a thought.
Mm. Beautiful. All right, well, look, that's a nice way to end it, I think.
Yeah,
Do you reckon?
I think so.
Okay. So you landed on inspiration because you was inspired to do so because of what you checked in with.
Yeah,
So do you feel inspired now?
I do feel a little bit more motivated. Yeah, it's been a week where I've spent it in my head that it's been about work and it's been about yeah, it's been about all the things that need doing. You know, when you get stuck in a big list of things in your head, but it's been powerful because it's
Mm,
it's been stuff that needs to be done. But that means I've been too tired to do the movement bit of my life.
yeah,
And so it's just finding that balance. So I feel inspired now to move a bit more today and maybe
good.
tomorrow.
All right, good. I feel inspired to continue to I feel inspired by a sense of knowing that I'm on the right, you I'm on the right track, on the right path.
Hmm.
I feel it's a great sense of comfort. There's some faith. Do you know what? Blue Zone, one of the common things as well was a sense of faith.
Yeah,
And it doesn't have to be a religious one, although for some it is. It's just faith in your place in this life, just to feel secure, to feel like you belong, that there's
yeah,
a connection between you and the other,
mm,
whatever that may be, whether it's, an ethereal other, uh, uh, um, a universal other, or just a more of a material sort of, um, visceral other. Um, and I think that's a beautiful thing. I think it really is a beautiful thing. So I would encourage anyone at home to explore maybe some of the things that we've covered today. And if you feel that someone would really need to, if you feel inspired to inspire someone else, maybe pass this on, then please do feel compelled to share what we do and to maybe like it and to just give us a bit of a pat on the back by pressing a button or two. Not that we're seeking that approval. It's just something I needed to say.
nice.
That's it for me.
Okay.
All right. So go out and inspire someone today. If it's not going to be for you, a lot of my inspiration comes from, whether it's someone inspiring me, it's me actually being of service. That's another thing. Blue zone, community, help someone, smile at someone, make someone feel inspiration today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
All right, man.
Good
All right.
stuff.
All right, Ben. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you. Have a good time all the time.
All the time. Yeah, have a good time all the time.
Yeah.
You too, man. All right,
All
take
right.
care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.